want to succeed in pro wrestling? Then you need to be brutal. I'm Mike Quackenbush, and this is Till We Make It. Right here on my channel, I make videos for fellow professional wrestlers at every single stage of their career. And I do this because for the first 3 years I was an active pro, I had no mentor to guide me. I didn't have a coach to teach me. And I realized, with hindsight of course, that not having access to veteran wisdom, knowledge, experience, that ultimately played a significant role in why I did not achieve my career aspiration. And I don't want someone else to fall short for lack of access to exactly those things. That's why I make Till We Make It. That's why these videos, this channel exists. And if you want to take your support of Till We Make It to the next level, consider joining me over on Patreon for as little as $5 a month. You're going to get access to the posts I make 2 to 3 times every single week, including the weekly Patreon exclusive video, which never gets shown here on the YouTube channel. In recent weeks, we've talked about a key perspective on what WWE is versus what TNA was, the value that TV equity brings to someone after they're released from their corporate contract, and exactly what makes the current pro wrestling scene must watch. Just go ahead, follow the link in the descriptus down below, and come join us. Be part of the community. I already know today's video is not for everybody out there watching, so let's go ahead and thin the herd a little bit right out of the gate. A lot of people are raised with the idea that they can grow up to be anything. I know I was, and I think that's Not everyone can grow up to have the career of Michael Jordan. Not everybody can grow up to be the Queen of England. Not everybody can grow up and travel to Mars. That's not reality. I think the notion that you can grow up to be anything is just empty rhetoric. It's nice sounding, but ultimately meaningless. You can try really hard and want it very badly, and that doesn't mean that you're ever going to make the Chicago Bulls. You might read every gossip rag about the royal family and have an impressive collection of funny hats, and you are not assured of queendom. You might even make revolutionary discoveries about Martian atmosphere or geology, and that doesn't mean you'll ever set foot on Mars. If this is already too brutal for you, better click away to another video right now, because you are not gonna like what's coming next. I'm of the opinion that if you want to succeed in professional wrestling, you need to figure out what you are good at and then whittle that list down to what you are best at as quickly as possible. And that's going to mean being brutally honest with yourself. It is a brutal examination of your natural talents, the talents that you've cultivated, and all the skills you possess. You might want to be the next Brock Lesnar, but just like being Michael Jordan, that doesn't mean that you will. It doesn't mean that you have the talent to be the next Brock Lesnar. It doesn't mean that you have the skills necessary to be the next Brock Lesnar. And you need to be brutally honest here. Because while it's perfectly fine to want to be the next Brock Lesnar, what you may discover is you will find success as a referee. I am sharing this with you today not because I want to dissuade some of you that are watching, or not because I'm trying to hurt your feelings or any of that. I am forewarning you that you can end up wasting your most valuable years. You can end up floundering at the start of your career if you are not brutally honest about the thing you are most likely to be successful at. And that does mean taking a really raw, honest look at what you bring to the table and figuring out, regardless of whether it's what you want or not, what it is you are most likely going to be successful at. And that can start with something as simple as making a list. What are the roles within pro wrestling that you think you are good at? And eliminate all the things that you wouldn't be good at for one reason or another. And if you're struggling with that, then ask for the advice of someone you trust and respect. But bear in mind what they have to say. If they are being brutally honest with you, it may not be what you want to hear. Some quick context for you. Over the course of the last 20 years, give or take, I've probably trained thousands of people. And I've had plenty of people get in my ring thinking that one day they'd be a top heel in professional wrestling, when in reality, the only thing they would find success as was as a ringside manager. Or I've absolutely had people who came in fantasizing about one day becoming world heavyweight champion, when in the final analysis, the thing that they could contribute was playing music backstage. And you better believe those are difficult conversations to have. But if you shy away from those kinds of brutally honest conversations, you are going to spend time floundering rather than succeeding. And there are so many roles within the world of professional wrestling. The faster you can figure out which ones you might be good at and then decide upon the thing you will be best at, the easier the whole thing goes. Once you've whittled down your list from the things you'd be good at to the thing you will be best at, you're going to relentlessly master every aspect of that job. If the thing you are best at is cutting heel promos for others, then learn every single nuance and detail of being a mouthpiece for heels. Know them so well you could turn around and teach them to others. Master that skill set and go after it hard. Once you've mastered that thing you know you will be best at, then begin to diversify. Then go out and start to learn skills associated with the things that you might only be good at, but prioritize the thing you will be best at. Chase that success first and give it priority while avoiding those things which you know you're not good at. If you can't connect with an audience as a babyface wrestler, well, don't just keep butting your head up against that task over and over again. Focus on the thing you know you will be best at and find early success there so that you have something to build off of during those earliest years. And once you own every aspect of that job, then and only then, begin to diversify. We cannot all be anything we wish, even if we want it, even if we work at it. That's just fantasy. But there are things which you are already excellent at, that you are better at than the people you travel with, than the people you train with. So focus on those strengths. Give them priority over the other things you can develop later on. And yeah, focusing in on that one thing you will be best at might mean first you must come to a harsh realization that the thing you used to daydream about during Mr. Zimmerman's pre-algebra class just isn't in the cards for you. But don't let that realization get in the way of your future success. I really do believe the quicker you prioritize the one thing you are best at and you chase that, the faster you will find success in professional wrestling. So make that an absolute priority. And yes, of course, you can make the choice to pursue something else, something that pleases you, something that pleases your ego. But if you make that choice, do so with the understanding that by pursuing that, instead of the thing that you are best at, in making that choice, you are gambling with your future. I hope you appreciate the place from which today's message comes. I really don't want to dissuade you. I'm here to enable your future success. And I want to clear a path for you as quickly as possible to that, even if that means sometimes the things we got to talk about feel a little bit brutal. But I know the more that I can demystify your journey through professional wrestling, the greater your odds of success. And if you're just starting out and you need some more demystification, well, that's kind of what this video is all about. Down underneath it is a link to my Patreon. And of course, here's a listing of all my great patrons. They make this possible. It's their support of the Till We Make It mission that keeps this alive.